Hey everybody, Travis Clater back with another strategic thought for the day. I recently did a blog post about storytelling, and as we discussed in that blog post, storytelling really is at the heart of any effective communications campaign. It doesn't matter if it's social media, media relations, internal communications, or any of the other elements of a strategic communications plan. You have to tell stories that resonate in a meaningful way with your audiences. And there are some commonalities, like we discussed, of effective storytelling, including embracing yourself as the subject matter expert, embracing your company mission, vision, and values, making an emotional connection with your audiences, adding value for your customers, and then finally finding the right call to action. Now, to make things more complicated, the tools available to brands have made storytelling more effective, but certainly much more complicated. The available communication channels alone have gone from a few to a few thousand, which can make anybody's head spin, including seasoned communicators. So, in that same blog post, we talked about questions that you need to ask yourself about the content you're creating so you can ensure that it is an effective communications effort, including one, does it apply to my core mission, vision, and values? Two, will my audiences even care about it? Three, does it bring value to my audience's lives? Four, what do they need to know and how can they take action? And then finally, five, how can I portray it in a meaningful and exciting way? Now, I'll post the link to that blog here in this blog, and so make sure you check it out. But before you can come up with an effective content strategy or create effective content for your storytelling, you need to know what story it is that you want to tell. Sometimes an amazing story can fall right into your lap. Sometimes you're lucky enough to just stumble across an amazing idea or person or narrative that fits perfectly with what you're trying to accomplish. More often than not, however, that's not the case. The easy choice oftentimes is usually not the most compelling story that you want to tell. And what you typically end up with, if you're lucky, is a somewhat fun or engaging story that doesn't really resonate or create the connection that you want with your audiences. It doesn't bring the meaning that they're looking for, the value or the purpose that they want when connecting with your content. And if you can't deliver that meaning, that purpose, or that value, then you're wasting your time and theirs. It's not going to deliver the results that you want, and it's certainly not going to give them what they're looking for. Now, there are a lot of theories and recommendations out there about questions you can ask to find the so-called story behind the story. But I like to keep things simple, so we're gonna boil it down in for this strategic thoughts video. The questions you can ask in reality are going to vary from story to story, or person to person, or even content creator to content creator. So the question is, what can you do to make sure you're finding the best possible story for your efforts? Simply put, you need all the information you can find. You need to know how and why things are like they are. Now, I've used the five W's, the who, what, when, where, and why, when talking about things like transparency. And today we're going to apply that same thinking to finding the story that really matters for your content effort, that matters to your brand, that matters to your audiences, and like I said, matters to what it is you're trying to accomplish. So let's start with the who. It's easier to ask your customers or your audiences to connect to a story about a person versus a story about a product or a place or a thing. People want to connect with other people. So as you're digging into your story and trying to find the storylines, dig in and find out who is behind your story and what people have been instrumental in this journey. Whatever the story is, there's usually a person or people pushing behind the scenes. So find out their story and then integrate that into your storytelling. Next is the what. There's the basic, what does this product do, or what does this service accomplish? But that likely won't get you the deeper story that you're looking for. Ask questions like, what makes it work? What impact is it having on customers or clients? And what happens after this product is used or this service is rendered? This will help you explore the true value of the topic that you're creating content about, which in turn is going to help you connect with your audiences in a meaningful way so you can deliver value to them. Next is the win. It's easy to get lost in focusing on today, right? The today, I mean, that's when you're writing the story or creating the piece of content. But the story you're writing about likely started well before you put that proverbial pen to paper. So trace it back, find out when this storyline started. How come it took as long as it did to come to be a reality? Or if it wasn't a long time, why was it so accelerated? Just by digging into the timeline, you can learn a lot about your subject and the storylines to create something more meaningful. Next is the where. This one seems a little obvious, but we're going to dig in. It's not just about where your person, your product, or business or service takes place, or services are rendered. It can be about where all of this is having an effect on the world around us. Are there communities benefiting from that service? Is there a global trend your storyline can tie into? The good news is, in a digital world, the geographical boundaries that would have constrained us before don't exist, and they're removed. So you can find out where the impact of your story is being felt. And when you do that, you might just uncover an awesome story to tell. Next is the why. We all know why, whatever we're working on, why that product exists or why a service is being rendered. But why are we talking about it in the first place? Why is there a need for a product like that or a service focused on that specific need? Why did the founder or creator have the idea in the first place? Why do people find it appealing? Ask why as many times as you can to find something truly meaningful that you can share with your audiences. Again, there are a lot of ways to go about getting that story that matters or finding that story that matters, but follow these steps and you are well on your way to creating meaningful content that delivers value and connects with your audiences. So there's your strategic thought for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out tcstrategic.com for more blog posts as well as to sign up for our newsletter. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.